Hello YouTube, welcome back to Mine Mogul, and of course, new big map for the Age of Steel update. When last we left, we had basically made a new copper area, explored a little bit of what will be our future steel producing area, as well as our gold making area, which, well, not really our future gold making area. It was a bit small, but we were able to jerry rig a small little gold output to start making ourselves, well, some gold. We're gonna need it, obviously. Looking at our quest, you can very obviously tell. Also, like I said at the end of the last episode, I did do a bit of rearranging. I did run it a little bit to see exactly how it would look and how it would work. And I found that even with the plate machine right there, it was going to be bad. So I decided to change things around even more, and I had forgotten to change this around. So that's bad. Oh well, we'll be fine. If I can just get this dang thing out, come on. There. Yeah, that's a slight problem that I have. Need to actually go and finish this. As you can see, I added a whole nother plate roller. Yeah, plate roller, whatever. And I had made a pipe roller over there. Now, this pipe roller is just going to be whatever it's going to be. As you can see, iron's going to go in there, and a coal's going to go in there, and it's going to turn into a junk plate. Junk pipe. That's just what it's going to be. Sometimes we're going to get the good ones, you know, copper, iron, gold, and it'll make the corresponding pipes. And every now and again, it'll be, well, more likely than not, it's going to be the junk pipe. But honestly, that's fine. It's a lot better than the problems we were having before, where it was just backing up, irregardless of whatever the heck I put here. I mean, the only thing that I could change about that is if I wanted to put the plate rollers over here, which, honestly speaking, now that I'm looking at it, I could have done, and then just had the ingots going and doing their thing onto the line way the heck over here. But honestly, we're going to need pipes eventually, both the junk variety and the others kinds, so I just said screw it. So, what are we doing today? Easy. We're going to be working on some of this stuff. This, casting furnace that's junk. I would have preferred to wait until I got the box upgrade. Actually, I might just do that. Hold, please, while I go and see if I can't grab some extra gold from somewhere. Okay, good news, bad news. Good news, I did find one thing of gold in my entire mine. Bad news, it sure as heck wasn't enough to upgrade my quests. So we're just going to open this door right here, and behind this is going to be a whole bunch of gold. Yes, I knew there was going to be gold in these hills. And yeah, pretty much just this is what I found. Kind of unfortunate, but oh well, it is what it is. And we're gonna need more. Well, I guess the good news is we didn't have to go that far to go and open up a whole new gold area. Really wasn't like we needed a whole lot. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just sit over here and micromanage the gold to always go into the box, but I really don't need to. What I will need is more of these lamp posts. There we are. And we are going to just keep messing around in that gold area till we get our polished gold ingots quest finished. Or the WoW gold plates finished. Whichever one happens first, and I'm willing to bet that the gold ingots are going to be finished first. Call it a hunch, but I think that one might be more likely to finish. Dang, though, there's a lot of gold in these hills. I was joking about that, but holy crap, there's... Oh, hey, there's a chest. Huh. What you got in you? Gold! Exactly what I was looking for. Awesome. Well, that helps. So, we will just drag these on down. They will be our... hopefully, our 2 that we need. 1 that we need. After we polish them, because obviously they need to be polished. And we don't need to worry, because that one right over there is our last one. Alright, cool. So, we're just going to go, and we're going to wait till we see that thing finish up. Alright, and we got the research points needed for the bigger box. Because we definitely need it. And we're also getting the support wrench because I want to make it look a little bit prettier. Okay, and I'm going to put that there to light up the area. And I'm going to grab my box here. I'm going to grab all my drill bits. I'm going to add my drill bits to this box. That's where my drill bits will be. That way they're just not rolling around the floor. And there. Much better. Much, much better. In fact, I'm thinking I might just swap this a little bit. If I can do this quickly enough. There. Now we don't have to worry about it suddenly deciding to go in. Yeah. Have a problem. Good. Very good. Very, very, very good. I am very happy. In fact, I'm actually kind of debating on whether or not I should set up a little bit of a junk. Nah. You know what? Nah. We're not gonna. Okay, but what we are going to do is we are going to grab that casting machine, like I said. And we are going to go and... Ooh. We're only going to be able to grab one of the 4 ingot casting molds. Oh, nope, we're going to be able to get... Well, we could just sit here and... Well, we could just sit here and wait. We're not going to. Alrighty. Now let's head on over to our future steel site and I'll show you what we're working with here. We'll of course need to come back down and grab another ingot mold, because the casting machine can make 3 ingots at once. Yes, you heard me right. The casting machine can make 3 ingots at once. Let's just whip this on down and you'll see what we're working with here. Big machine, you can see. And let's get some lights so you can see it even easier. Okay. Now then. As per usual, all the other furnaces, ores go up here. The iron goes up here. But you'll see that there's another thing for coal. In order to get steel, you need to put iron in the top, or some, or if I'm wrong that, you only need iron. And you need to put in enough coal so that the little bar here, this temperature gauge, is in the green, or the high yellow. I found in my other game that you can have it in the high yellow and it'll be fine. Or at least how I have it in the high yellow is working just fine. And obviously, these two spots over here are where you put the molds. I am a little bit annoyed that they can't stack, but I can kind of understand, because if you look at my quests, after we make the steel ingots, we're going to be getting gears, which I am quite impressed by. And as I said, you can get 3 ingots, which is why we're going to go back down there and get the 3rd immediately. But start off with, let me just grab some coal here, shove it in here. You'll see now the temperature thing just jumped up. But you'll see it's ever so slowly falling back down. That's the problem. You need to be constantly feeding it with coal. Otherwise, it's going to die out on you. So you need to just go and be constantly feeding it coal in order to keep the temperature up. Oop. I forgot I had these things on. I had these things up here. Oh, well, whoops. Let's just turn these off. Yes, I had already kind of set this all up. The mines, at least. And when I was doing the whole fixing up that pipe roller and junk area, yeah, totally forgot that I had these. Whoops. Whoops. Oh well. Could be worse. Could be far worse. The only bad part about this is that we're going to need the heavy machines. Now, I say we are going to need, I guess we don't technically need it to get started, but as you can see, there are quite a few heavy things. I mean, you've already seen the three auto miners that we have. Luckily, one is pure coal, one is pure iron, and the other one is a mix. So it's not like we're going to be, hard-pressed to find ourselves the resources to make it. It's just, we're not going to be able to go and... Oh, hey. Copper. That goes back down there. Okay, anyways. We're going to be having some difficulties with supplying enough ore and possibly coal. But I think actually we'll be fine with the coal. It's the ore we're going to have slight issues with. And I say slight issues. I really do mean slight. I'm pretty sure we'll have more than enough. How the fuck do we have a goddamn ruby? No, seriously. How the fuck do we have a ruby? And was that a... You know what? I'm not... Nope, not gonna even worry about it. Not gonna think about it. I am curious, though. Nope. Okay, weird. Huh. Must picked up a ruby and a gear from somewhere. Oh well. Alright, so. We are going to go and make sure that we got all the various ores. Nope, he didn't. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the bad things that can happen when you start, having issues, when you just leave stuff around and don't actually have a plan to get rid of them. Okay, so we are going to do some sorting off of stuff. First and foremost, we are going to put this here, and we are going to have the coal come off this line. And that's actually going to be the easiest thing to set up here. I might need to... You know what? We're going to get rid of that. I don't know how close we can get to the heavy miners, but let's not be too hasty with that. There. Okay, so the coal will of course come off this line and will feed off over to here. We're going to set it up so that yes, we're going to set it up so that these two mines over here are working together, are supplying the same thing, because, like I said, all we need is the iron and the coal for that. So, we really don't have to worry about having them on two separate lines. At least not exactly. I am going to do sorting to keep the gemstones from becoming an issue. And to do that, it's going to be as simple as just kind of going like this. And there we are. Now iron in both of its forms will go up this way. And we will be making all sorts of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. As for the rest of it, well, the rest of it will just continue going through here, and it'll eventually get polished, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to find another way to the main hub. I haven't been able to find another way to the main hub quite yet. I want to guess that's probably going to be a way to get to the main hub, but I don't have any, well, I don't have any evidence to show that yet. I'm just going off of vibes. And guessing. Just pure guessing. But it's alright. We'll get there eventually. Eventually. Alrighty. Now we'll get this all sorted and set up so that way we can just run off with it. There we are. Keep going, keep going. And then we'll be turning. And turn one last time, and alright. There. Now, I am going to go, and I am going to get our... I'm going to go get the mold, the last ingot mold that we need. Well, technically, we don't need it, I don't think. I don't think it's actually gonna put anything there. Like, it's not actually gonna send any of the molten whatever the heck steel to it without a mold, but just to be on the safe side in case it does, I'm going to get a mold anyways, just in case it kind of makes us waste resources. If it wouldn't, that's fine, but I also would like to have the full capacity of it as soon as possible anyways. And obviously that big old pile that we now have, this is getting sorted off. As in now. As in I'm taking you all with me. We are going up here, and I'm going to begin dropping you into the... yeah. And this is what we're going to be doing for the next 20 or so minutes. So, obviously, this is the kind of stuff you gotta do when you go and nest it up a little bit. When you forget to go and turn off, when you forget that you place down machines for future expansion, sometimes you gotta do stuff like this. Ah, crap. Oh. No. No. I was a little afraid of that. Darn it. Okay, fine. This is why you always plan things out first. And why you don't just turn stuff on willy-nilly. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Mind? Maybe it would help if I didn't have it going the wrong way. Okay, one more time. Really? That's why? Not too happy. Alan is not too happy. Oh well. Alright, now let's try this. Gosh dang it. There. Jeez. Okay. Now, I will say, it takes a hell of a lot more iron to create the ingots, simply because of how many ingots it's going to be making. I'm fairly certain it's probably the same amount as what you would need for normally, but I can't say for sure. I'm guessing yes, but oh well. Also, obviously, like all the others, crushed is a lot smarter to do than just pure plain Jane whatever. So I'm probably going to be adding a crusher machine right here. That probably would be a better idea. Just to go and ensure that it's done correctly. As for the coal, though, I don't think crushing it would help. Could be wrong, have been before, but I don't think crushing that one's gonna help. But who knows? And of course, I'm making sure not to go and actually toss too much down there as of yet, because I want to make sure that I don't overdo it too much. There is one neat little thing you could honestly do if you were interested, and that's, you see these iron ingots? You can actually toss iron ingots into a, you can toss ingots into the ore crusher here, and it'll actually give you back, I think it'll give you back what you put into said ore, said ingot. I'm fairly certain you can't do this with steel, obviously, for obvious reasons, because it doesn't have an ore. Or maybe it does have an ore and I'm just being stupid about it. But whatever the case may be, I highly doubt you can actually go and put the steel ingots in there to get more steel out. Well, you wouldn't be able to anyways, but you know what I mean by that. And yeah, as you're seeing here, it's all the way up at the top. The heat is all the way up at the top. And nothing's really happening. It's not blowing up, it's not doing anything like that. And I personally like that. I like not having to worry about it blowing up. I don't have to go and try to micromanage the temperature. Good, very good. I am very happy about that. That would be slightly of a slight annoying thing to have to go and try to micromanage the temperature. Of all your casting machines. It would just be straight up very annoying. But yeah, you can see this thing is pumping out steel like crazy. Once you actually get feeding it some serious material, you can get some serious, well, materials. Not too surprising, I'm sure many of you are not shocked that by adding a lot of materials to a machine, it will produce a serious amount of materials, but yeah, it's very, very good. The casting machine is very handy. And as you've already seen, it's just tossing them out and doing, like I said, producing 3 ingots per whatever. Every now and again, come back here, make sure to clean that up. Alrighty. And this is going to be what we're going to be doing for our casting machine. This is where we're going to be making it. We've already set up the, well, necessary stuff. Honestly speaking, if I wanted to, I could just turn these on and just let her rip. But the only reason I'm doing all this stuff and letting it stack up is because I'm trying to clean out this. So I'm gonna shut this off I'm gonna go and do this real quick. I'll bring you guys back once I'm done. Okay, welcome back, people. We're just finishing up the very last bits of cleanup here, and we'll be ready to go. Okay. Now, I had ran off to go and grab a few things that we're going to need. First and foremost, the polishing machine. For obvious reasons, we're going to need the polishing machine. And doesn't that look beautiful? That's how the steel looks once it's all polished. Alrighty, we grab the last of that. There. Okay, now that should be good. Obviously, what we're going to be doing for the other stuff is polishing it as well, because everything that doesn't go through here or here should just be gemstones. That should be all that should come through here. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, we also have this machine over here, which, oh hey, I missed a couple of these. When? Oh. Hey. Lamb dunk. Okay, so, this one over here, we are going to need to go and drag over here. We are going to set up a sorter. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to set the sorter up right here. Yeah, there. Okay. And with this, we will have one going down and one going up. And then we can bring out the ore crusher. The ore crusher will be right here. And then two more of these. And then we just have a straight shot over to the... yeah, there. Alrighty. And then any gemstones it produces, we'll just go over this way and we'll just thread it through with the others. There. And now, if I just start feeding a little bit of here, we should begin... Oops, no, I said a little bit, not a whole crap ton. Because if you do too many of these, they will go above the polishing machine. These orange thingamabobbers, yeah, the orange thingamabobbers actually have to hit them in order for them to become clean. So, be very, very, very careful when you are tossing stuff like this onto the belt. Because if you do go over it, well, you might just have to re-clean it again. Which can kind of suck. Of course, you could just do what I should have did in the first place and not actually go and, you know, have the damn things running while you were doing other stuff, but, you know, hindsight and all that. Alrighty. And with this, the true cleanup should be 100% done. And we can begin focusing on what our future game plan is going to be. Which is somehow getting all of this crap down there. Down to our main base. And that, unfortunately, is going to involve just dropping it. I know, in the past I've said I don't like doing that, and I stand by that still. But the problem is that, well, we need to do it. We can't just not do it. We have to, unfortunately. So, that's just how it's going to be. We're going to have to go and drop them, which means we're going to need hoppers, which means we're going to need to go and actually, well, have the damn hopper technology unlocked. Which is not good for me personally because, well, if we go over to our technology screen, yeah, I don't research them very often. So, yeah, slight problem there. But that's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. And I did just go turn those on, didn't I? Like an idiot. Yep, I sure did just go and turn them on like an idiot. Because I don't even have a game plan for what the heck we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing afterwards. And it does appear that if it's not warm enough yet, it will just basically be like a giant furnace. Yeah, see? It's producing iron, not steel. So, if it's not warm enough, if it's not above the green bar, it'll just make steel. It'll just make iron, which, not too dang shabby. I mean, not super bad. But if you are going to be doing the casting machine, obviously run the coal lines first until it's hot enough to, you know, start making steel. Then run the staff. Alright, we are, I think, a little bit over time, so I think we're going to call it here. Off camera, I'm going to do a little bit of, well, I'm going to do a little bit of thinking. And I'm going to figure out what exactly I want to do with all of this. Well, all of this I'm going to take down there somehow. But we're going to do some thinking. I'm going to get back to you on that. I have a feeling that I'm not going to go and drag all of them down as ingots. I have a slight game plan, or at least a slight desire, to go and actually have the production facilities for the rollers, the pipes, and the plates, the pipes, and the rods all just up here. In fact, I kind of already have the game plan to do that. That being said, obviously, I'm not going to do it right. I'm going to do a little bit of thinking, seeing what I can figure out on this. So, till then, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.